Good morning, great morning, wonderful morning, spectacular morning, outstanding morning, supercalifragilisticexpialidocious morning. Yes, welcome to the new year. Welcome to this wonderful time right here, right now. Welcome to now. Isn't that interesting? It's always now. There's never any time but now. There's only now. There's always been only now, and there's always going to be only now. And what's beautiful is that you get to choose how that now is going to be solely by choosing the meaning that you're going to give it. And that right there is absolutely amazing, incredible, powerful, wonderful, but only if you choose to make it so. Now, think about that for you. Think about how you get to decide what this day is going to be. You get to decide how this year is going to be. You know that the success that you're going to experience throughout this year is going to be solely decided by what you decide in the present moment. And that, unfortunately, is something that most people don't connect with. They don't understand. They leave their fate to things that are outside of them, not understanding that all the power's inside. Now, again, grab onto that for you. You get to decide about how you're going to move forward because of the thoughts you get to accept or reject. And that's what we invite you to connect with all the time to make it a permanent part of how you maneuver through your life. Now, before we move forward into what we're going to be diving into in today's call, we have the reminder of the emergence event that's happening on Saturday, and that's taking place at 1:11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where we're going to be diving into more of the implementation portion, how we can help you to use this in your life. And you're going to get a lot of value from that. So make sure that you're registered. Make sure that you also invite other people to come along for the ride as well, because it's going to be really, really great. All right, so let's go into this beautiful gem here of there's no such thing as self-sabotage, this beautiful truth bomb that completely obliterates, decimates, destroys the false narrative that you're the problem, that you're in your own way, that you're your own worst enemy, or that you self-sabotage. There is no such thing. It's a lie. And it's unfortunately a lie that a lot of people have connected with and actually speak of because of that belief inside of them. Well, it's not true. So get rid of that. You got to shut that shit down. Okay, so you ready? Let's go into where we left off in this beautiful gem. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, kaboom, boom. There we are. Now, we're going to go over something that we talked about in the last session again, and that has to do with how things keep coming back. And one of the examples that was talked about were negative thoughts. And it's important for you to understand first that all negativity is subconscious. Write that in your notes. All negativity is subconscious. And it connects beautifully with the core of the message in this book, and that the negativity that happens in our life is not something that we intentionally invite. You don't intentionally say, oh, I'm going to decide to invite limitation in my life. I'm going to decide to think negatively. No, that's not something that intentionally happens. So here is why we're going to go over this again. And in terms of the page, it's page 143 if you have the soft cover. Now, the question here is, have you ever noticed certain negative thoughts creeping in your mind no matter how much you try to push them away? In other words, they won't go away. They just keep coming back. Type that in the comments. They won't go away. All of you type that. They won't go away. They keep coming back no matter what you do. No matter how many times you say the opposite, they just won't go away. And it sucks, doesn't it? It's frustrating. It's confusing. Wait, I thought I got rid of this. Well, why do they keep coming back? See, they seem to appear at the worst times, don't they? Thoughts you don't want. You try to push them away, you replace them with positive affirmations. Oh, okay, I'm so happy and grateful now that you know what I'm talking about. You read books, take courses, and tell yourselves you're done with the old patterns, but somehow they return. They follow you everywhere like an unwanted shadow. And the question is, why? Why? Oh, why do they keep coming back? Now, most people, they answer with something like, because I'm stopping myself, because I don't want the change bad enough, because I keep making it happen. You know what? I got to stop making it happen. But remember, none of this is true. None of it. The only reason why those negative thoughts keep coming back is because they are just a habit. They are just a freaking habit. That's it. If you procrastinate it, it keeps coming back no matter what you do. It's because it's a habit. It's not because you're dumb. It's not because you're stupid. It's not because you don't want to be decisive. You do. It's not because you don't dream about being decisive. You do. It's just because you have a habit of procrastinating. Same thing comes with the negative ideas. It's just in the conditioning. It's just a freaking habit, not a personal flaw, not a sign of weakness, not self sabotage. There is no such thing as self sabotage. It's just a habit. I'm reflecting on the first time that I saw this. I was going, wow. The first time I saw this, I remember the sense of relief that was in me. Oh, it's just a habit. Oh my God. See, that's when I realized that the negative emotions I was feeling, the anxiety at the time, which was happening because of fear, which was happening because of worry and doubt, more specifically, the habit of worry and doubt. That's when I first realized, oh my gosh, I'm supposed to be feeling this anxiety. I'm supposed to be feeling this anxiousness, this overwhelm because of the habit of thinking the way I was thinking. There was nothing wrong with me. I then saw from there is the cause and realized, oh my God, all I have to do is change the cause. I just have to change the pattern. So again, it's just a habit. And just like any habit, it only persists because it has been repeated enough times to feel automatic. Write this in your notes. In order to change the results of my life, I must change what's automatic in me. In order to change the results of my life, talking about the outcomes, you want to change how much you earn, what you do for work, your lifestyle. If you want to change the results in your life, those results, you must change what's automatic in you. And what's automatic in you in terms of the change must be in harmony with that outcome. Let's all type that in the comments too. In order to change the results of my life, I must change what's automatic in me. And what's automatic in you? Habits. It's very simple. Change your habits, you change your life. More specifically, you change the results of your life. Now, this brings me to the definition of insanity that we've all heard before. What's the definition of insanity that we've heard? The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. Now, that doing is referencing behavior, right? Yeah. You keep behaving the same way over and over again and expect a different result, you're going to go insane. But really, that's not the true definition. That's a shallow definition. Why? Because all of your behavior, the things that you do outside, happens because of how you feel. How you feel happens because of how you're thinking. So the true definition is not doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result. It's thinking the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. Now, notice it's the pattern inside. And this is why I repeat these things so many times for you, because I understand that through that repetition, eventually it'll stick in somehow if you're here connecting with the desire to change. That's important. Now, James Allen described habits as repeated thoughts solidified into automatic actions. Now, this comes from Out from the Heart, which is my favorite book from him. It's such a beautiful book. A thought consistently repeated at last becomes a fixed habit of mind, and from such habits proceeds one's life. Put a big box around this. Now let's connect with that. A thought constantly repeated at last becomes a fixed habit of the mind, and from such habits proceeds one's life. From such habits proceeds the results of your life. I remember in this same chapter how he talked about how you can't hide how you're thinking. It's impossible for you to hide what's happening inside of you. You can't do that. Why? Because from what's happening inside you precedes the feelings you have, then precedes the actions you're taking, your behavior, which then shows your results. Your results reveal what's happening inside. They always tell the truth of the pattern in you and the belief you have about you specifically. Now, before we proceed further, for those of you who are watching this live stream and connected with this message and would love to dive into watching the replays and the recordings, go to elevitality.com and register for Master Your Mind. There's two options available for you. There's one where you can just access the recordings, and then there's another one where you can access the live calls here with the recordings. The choice is yours. Both are powerful and beautiful.